In a case that's turning out to be one of the most high-profile celebrity legal battles in recent memory, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs finds himself facing mounting legal challenges. The most recent court hearing, held earlier this week, provided a wealth of new information that signals the case is far from over. While the trial is scheduled for May 5, 2025, ongoing investigations, new evidence, and legal maneuvering indicate that this case may continue to drag out. Here's everything we know so far, what it means for Diddy, and how this could affect his future. Diddy's appearance in court. Sean Combs, better known as Diddy, arrived at his most recent court hearing in a surprisingly upbeat mood. Dressed sharply and smiling, he appeared confident as he interacted with his legal team. Onlookers noted that his demeanor was far from that of a man facing serious charges, which may have been a deliberate tactic on the part of his defense team. The presence of his mother and daughters at the hearing added to this narrative. Their attendance seemed like a calculated move, likely meant to evoke sympathy and project an image of Diddy as a dedicated family man. While this might appear to be a clever strategy, it's a familiar one in high-profile legal cases. Bringing family members to court, especially in front of a jury or judge, can help sway opinions. It's a visual reminder that the person on trial has responsibilities and relationships outside the courtroom, which can often humanize the defendant. Diddy's team may hope that presenting him as a loving father and son could counterbalance the darker accusations leveled against him. The trial date, will it stick? Currently, Diddy's trial is slated for May 5, 2025, but experts are already predicting delays. Legal analysts believe that the complexity of the case, combined with ongoing investigations, means this date is optimistic at best. Trials of this magnitude, involving extensive evidence and multiple charges, often take years to fully resolve. There's also the question of a superseding indictment, which could bring additional charges against Diddy. According to the prosecution, led by Orr Johnson, the investigation is still ongoing. A superseding indictment would introduce new evidence or charges, and it could drastically change the course of the trial. This isn't uncommon in complex legal cases, especially when dealing with celebrities or high-profile defendants. In short, the May 2025 trial date might simply be a placeholder until all the evidence is gathered and the legal teams are fully prepared to proceed. The evidence: 1 terabyte of data. One of the most alarming details to emerge from the hearing is the sheer volume of evidence the prosecution has gathered against Diddy. The court was told that over 1 terabyte of data has been collected, which includes information seized from 96 devices across multiple locations. This includes devices taken from Diddy's properties in Los Angeles, Miami, and even a private airport in Florida. The sheer size of this data indicates the potential depth of the investigation. A terabyte of data is enormous, and the kind of information it could hold is extensive. It could include emails, text messages, documents, videos, and possibly incriminating evidence that might reveal a broader scope of wrongdoing than initially suspected. Out of the 96 devices seized, a significant portion has already been examined, and more is expected to be presented in court in the coming months. With so much data to sift through, the timeline for this case could be extended well beyond 2025. What does this data contain? While specific details of what this data contains have not been publicly revealed, some crucial pieces of evidence have already been hinted at. One of the most discussed elements is a video reportedly showing Diddy and Cassie in a hotel. This video, which has been making rounds in legal circles, could be central to the prosecution's case. If it contains damning footage, it could seriously undermine Diddy's defense and possibly influence public opinion as well. The inclusion of Cassie in this case adds another layer of complexity. She was a longtime associate and rumored girlfriend of Diddy, and any evidence involving their relationship, especially if it involves violent or abusive behavior, could severely damage Diddy's reputation and bolster the prosecution's case. In fact, Cassie's involvement could lead to additional charges if further evidence comes to light, extending the scope of the trial beyond its current parameters. Combs Global and the subpoenas. Another significant development involves Combs Global, Diddy's business empire. Combs Global has officially been subpoenaed, which suggests that the prosecution is looking into Diddy's corporate dealings as part of their broader investigation. This is a critical move because it indicates the possibility of financial improprieties or corporate malfeasance, which could lead to additional charges. Subpoenas are powerful legal tools used to compel individuals or organizations to provide documents or testify in court. The fact that Combs Global is now involved means that prosecutors may be exploring whether Diddy used his corporate structure to hide or facilitate illegal activities. This could range from money laundering to tax evasion, or even more serious allegations. Involving Combs Global brings in a financial dimension to the case that could lead to significant consequences, not just for Diddy personally, but for his business empire as well. In an attempt to control the narrative and limit damaging leaks, Diddy's legal team has requested a gag order. A gag order is a legal tool used to prevent parties involved in a case from publicly discussing details outside of court. This would help Diddy's defense team by controlling the flow of information and limiting any media coverage that might sway public opinion against their client. However, the prosecution is fighting this request. They argue that transparency is crucial, especially given the public interest in the case. One of the prosecution's key pieces of evidence, the aforementioned video of Diddy and Cassie, has already been cited as a reason to keep the case as open as possible. The prosecution's pushback suggests that they believe the evidence they have is strong enough that keeping it out of the public eye would only benefit Diddy and allow his team to craft a more favorable narrative. The role of public opinion. Public opinion plays an enormous role in celebrity trials, and this case is no different. Diddy has long been a fixture in the entertainment world, and his legal troubles are headline news. His defense team is likely keenly aware of the need to control the media narrative, especially given the nature of the charges and the evidence that has surfaced so far. On the flip side, the prosecution may believe that keeping the public informed could work to their advantage, particularly if damning evidence continues to emerge. The more the public knows about the case, the more pressure it could put on the court system to ensure justice is served. In high-profile cases, public opinion can often play a subtle yet influential role in how proceedings are handled and how lenient or harsh judgments are. The next hearing. December 18th. The next scheduled hearing is set for December 18th, and it promises to be a pivotal moment in the case. By that point, more of the seized devices will have been analyzed and additional evidence could be presented. This hearing will likely focus on the ongoing evidence review and whether the trial date should be pushed back. There may also be further discussions regarding the superseding indictment and any additional charges that could come into play. One of the key questions that will be addressed at the next hearing is whether Diddy will remain in custody. Despite attempts by his legal team to secure bail, Diddy remains detained. His team is expected to push once again for his release, possibly timed around the holiday season to appeal to the judge's emotions. However, given the seriousness of the charges and the amount of evidence still being reviewed, it's unclear whether the judge will grant bail at this stage. What's at stake for Diddy? For Sean "Diddy" Combs, this trial could have significant, long-lasting consequences, not just for his personal freedom, but for his legacy and business empire. If convicted, he could face severe legal penalties, including jail time and substantial fines. More than that, a conviction could permanently tarnish his reputation, affecting his relationships with business partners, fans, and the broader entertainment industry. Even if Diddy manages to avoid the most severe penalties, the damage to his public image may be irreparable. In the entertainment industry, where image is everything, allegations of misconduct, especially those involving abuse or financial wrongdoing, can have long-term effects. Diddy's business ventures, including his music, fashion, and media enterprises, could suffer as a result. The road ahead. As we look ahead to the next phases of this trial, it's clear that Diddy's legal troubles are far from over. With a mountain of evidence still to be reviewed, ongoing investigations, and potential new charges, this case will likely stretch well into 2025 and beyond. For now, all eyes are on the December 18th hearing, which could provide critical updates on the direction of the case. For Diddy, The stakes couldn't be higher. The legal and financial ramifications of this case could reshape the final chapters of his storied career. As new details emerge, one thing is certain. This is a case that will continue to dominate headlines and capture public attention for months, if not years, to come. Stay tuned for more updates as this legal drama unfolds.